Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Oh, we doing
How's it
good.
going out there? Hey, just for everybody
good.
that's tuning in right now, this is no feelings, just facts. I am your own Clevonne with Miss Tosha V and Mr. Ron on the scene today. Hey, today's topic that we are definitely going to be bringing up is relational entrapment.
Wow.
We're going to be talking about relational entrapment. And I know a lot of us, we grown now, then got stuck with somebody that's like, what the what?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, okay, I know it ain't just me. So when I know it ain't just me, man.
He's always the victim. Always the victim.
Look, I ain't the victim. I was the fool. I wasn't the victim, man. I just didn't think outside the box. But when we talk about relational entrapment, to be honest, it's so many different forms of entrapment, for real. There's so many different forms of it. When you look at people that actually get into a relationship or have children with people too, have children with people. Now, what's your take on that one? Because having kids with somebody that you think is one way and you really got stuck with that person.
Oh my God.
Explain that. What you mean? Think is one way.
Oh my God. All right. All right. When we come down to having kids with somebody, the one thing that a lot of people don't bring up is the fact that you need to be mindful who you have kids with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know. For me personally, I really didn't know. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get it in.
Right.
One, I'm going to get it in. And two, if I have kids, in my mind, it's like we're going to work together, or, you know, you have these imaginary people that actually have the relationship or they put on the show, but it ain't really a good relationship. I don't know if y'all ever experienced that.
Yeah, I have.
But kids is a big deal being stuck with somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get trapped with somebody, for instance, a person know you don't want to be with them, and then they still push the envelope to have a kid with you or whatever. Do I take responsibility?
Okay, because you know I was finna jump all over that.
No, hey, you can if you want to, but it'd be bad timing. So, hey, that's a sensitive subject. I got a whole lot for you. You want to go there? Seriously, when we talk about it, because of the fact now, like for me, I'm talking about the phase of wising up. I'm wising up after the fact, after I've done the damage. So a lot of people don't wise up before they do the damage. That's one of the biggest challenges we run into. I had children with people. I let my kids run free in people.
Okay.
That means he was just shooting everywhere.
I was just
shooting up the club.
Yeah, you know what I'm
shooting
saying?
Up the club.
Then I come out like, hey, I don't want to have no damn kid with you.
To go in your house.
Yeah, for real. Hey, I'm like,
he was like Oprah when she was giving out the cars, and you get a kid, and you get a kid.
You get a nut, yes. So looking back on it, for instance, for me personally, I wised up a little late, but a lot of people don't wise up a lot of times. And so therefore, when a lot of people will see the potential in you before you see it in yourself. And when I look at how a lot of us get caught up, I truly believe a lot of our insecurities make lifetime decisions for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your case, you wasn't trapped in a relationship. You was trapped in a situation because now you have to co-parent with these individuals that
them kids.
Yeah. You gotta. So now I'm stuck. I'm stuck with this person. That I know I don't want to be with. I know I'm not compatible with. And I've had a situation where I told the person, like, I don't want a kid with you. Or I can even use.
You already done had the kid with her.
No. I didn't already have the kid with it. Are you saying I let my kids loose in her?
Yeah. So you. So you made the statement after she was pregnant?
After the fact, like I had one that I had one situation. I ain't gonna really bring it up in depth, but I'm gonna say I was clear. Like I don't want a kid with you. I don't want a kid with you. Straightforward.
But what's that said after she said I'm pregnant?
She knew prior to. She knew prior, like, I don't want a kid with you. That's why I always go get a plan B.
Oh, you go get a plan B.
Why not? So why not use a condom?
Yeah.
Because it don't feel the same.
He right.
It don't feel the same. Let's be real. There's a whole different ball game when we talk about getting it in for real. And I feel like, okay, I'm going to be more responsible and make sure I go get a plan B. So I left it up to her to go get a plan B. And no, this
you
chick
gave her the money for the plan B too?
No, I was reimbursing her. But long story short, she didn't get it. She didn't get it.
Because she wanted the baby.
She wanted the baby. And I'm telling her, like, this is when she found out, like, I'm like, I don't want a kid with you. I don't want to be with you. So why would we do that? and she still moved forward with it. So I take responsibility, and after the fact, let's look at it like this. After the fact, did I have the kid with her? Yes, I did. I had the kid. She has a kid. Okay, cool.
By you.
By me.
But is she causing you any grief or any drama?
One of them is not. Now there's another one, like my oldest daughter mom, dude, that's the one behind Smith's. When I told you I was behind Smith's
Oh, Lord
or
Jesus.
the shopping center.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the one that gave me the most. She was like, hit me with, I'm stuck with you, you're a piece of shit, all that crap. And I'm like, dude, I don't have to go through this with you. And so she disappears off the scene for a long time.
With your baby.
She's pregnant. When she found out she's pregnant, I'm like, damn, okay. And she's like, you're not excited? I'm like, I'm trying to think of what I need to do to get myself prepared. And she's like, you're not excited. So she flips out and then she disappears. Well, she comes to me and is like, I'm stuck. I'm like, I get paid on Friday. We ain't got to do this for real.
Right.
So I've been stuck with, that's like a whole lifetime of drama. And that's what I'm saying. Our insecurities make a lifetime decision with this. I was an insecure man who made a decision with a person that I could never foresee myself being with.
Do you still think
ever.
you're trapped? Can you still continually be trapped although you're not with the person physically?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to deal with the mental side because
for
if
it.
you notice what he said his oldest daughter's mother. So he made that mistake multiple times after that incident.
Yeah, behind Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't learn from the first
There
time
was
behind
no, I'm going to tell you something, real talk.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of your most successful people have mentors. A lot of your most successful people have mentors.
Right.
And those mentors will guide them into the right direction. A lot of people don't have mentors.
Right.
And when you don't have a mentor, whether it's a father or a mature relative that's going to help you grow, that's a issue for you down the line.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have, they always say you're $2,000 shy of what you're going to become or who you are. And whatever you have around you is what you are. So if you have people who are less than you or people that are not graduated above you that can help you go to the next level, you will become that.
You become
unconsciously. So what was my surroundings? I unconsciously became what I was around. I'm not blaming my surroundings. I take responsibility.
So you was hanging with sluts.
No. I wouldn't say it was no. No.
Yeah, hanging with sluts all behind the Smith Food King. You know what I'm saying?
No, bro, I just know how to get it in
I'm trying to
right.
gather myself from
I
that.
just know how to get it in right. This dude said I'm hanging. Yeah, dude. Hey, but seriously though, when you don't have that mentorship in your life,
Right.
when you don't have a person who helps to hold you accountable, you end up in an entrapped situation. And a lot of people that get trapped with the wrong element of people that they should not be around is because they don't have nobody guiding them.
And you said before your family was the kind of family that pushed having a lot of kids.
Definitely. Have kids. All the men were in prison. All the men were on child support. All the men were dealing with women that were possibly on Section 8. All the men. And I'm not bashing. Please don't ever think I'm bashing a Section 8 or anything like that.
Right.
But what I'm saying is they gravitated to a certain mentality. And they gravitated to the mentality, and all around everybody praised that mentality. So when you praise a mentality that's not healthy, you end up in an entrapped situation.
Yeah.
But that's a trap itself. The
yes.
the trap of the family
Man.
curse.
Oh
yeah.
And all
It's
the
like-
generational stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we never discuss, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we look at a family curse, is that a relational entrapment? It surely is. Because you become so committed to your family. Because they always say, that's my cousin, that's my auntie. That's a person.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's a person.
Right.
Blood is
Right.
thicker than water, but water is the substance that keeps blood together.
That's
My
right.
uncle used to always say that. And my uncle always would say that. And as I got older, I understood it a lot more. So yes, just because they are family don't mean you have to stay around them.
Right.
Don't mean you have to stay stuck to them. But what do? We're so loyal and so committed to the wrong element of thing that we entrap ourselves in that as well.
And then we take the generational curse and create our own traditions with our kids and our families and just pass it on to them. And
Yes.
it keeps going.
Unconsciously. So if you ever read one of the books, what's one of the books with they interviewed a lot of the slaves?
Oh, the Bible?
Something like that.
The memoirs, slave memoirs.
Yeah,
when
let me
I was
try
a
to
slave.
think.
Slave memoir.
So
Yeah.
okay, got you. And in some of those books, if you listen to how the slaves talk, A lot of your relatives talk just like that.
Yeah.
Southern, yeah.
They talk just like that. The mentality of the ones who couldn't keep the money, the mentality of the ones who kept getting themselves entrapped in situations is a mentality that you gravitated to.
Mm-hmm.
And we stay around a lot of the comfort, which is a relational entrapment.
And that's a big word too, comfort.
Yes.
When you're trapped, that you know, you feel like, okay, I don't want to shake no waves up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to move nothing. I want to stir no waves. I'll just stay right here.
Yes.
And then doing that entrapment and comfortability, we driving ourselves crazy unknowingly.
Yes.
Because we're used to the surroundings that we're at.
Mm-hmm.
When we go to somewhere differently, and then that wish come in, you know, that wish sense, man, I wish I could do what they do. I wish I can do what they do. You can do what they do, but you're comfortable in that position that you're in, and you're miserable at the same time.
Can I interject with that?
Yeah.
You know what that's called? Fear.
Yeah.
And really, truthfully, fear is your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Fear, so many people out here are fearful of ever progressing to where they need to be at, that they go back to the comfort.
Right.
And your fear is your enemy. So you're great at what you do. I'm telling you, there's a lot of gifted people that I've met. And I'm like, man, they can go kill it. But they can't go kill it because they stay around people who are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then their fear won't let them elevate. Remember, you are what you're around. So if you're around people who are beneath you, what do they always tell you when you grow? Oh, you can beside yourself.
Yeah.
You think you're better than everybody.
You think you're better than everybody.
Oh, you doing this and doing that. So now people have this stigma that they put up on you, which presses the fear. Fear is your enemy.
It's true that when you said fear, because I read an article in Psychology Today.
Okay.
And it was saying that it's an unconscious fear that people have with staying trapped in situations. So there is either a fear of separation or loneliness, because like you said, Ron, the comfort. It's the comfort. So the situation, they can be unhappy as hell, but they'll stay in the situation because they know this is their comfort. This is what they used to. This
like married.
Right. So, like, you have a fear of, like, the grass is not always greener.
Yes,
so I'm gonna just deal with this because I know what this is.
Yes.
And that's the same where it says it. Even you will see that in abusive relationships where a partner or spouse is being abused, and they were like, "Well, I know what his or her level of abuse is.
Yeah.
So why leave this and probably jump into
but
something worse?"
Right?
Crazy.
Is
It's
that
so crazy.
right?
That's
Is
real
that
talk.
fair for us as an individual? Just if we know that the situation ain't right, why do we continue doing it?
It's an unconscious fear.
Is what you're breeded. Is what your mindset, right? You have gravitated to what you've been around all these years. If you've been around people, if you're around, for instance, you said earlier, I want to do what they do. I love what they do, right?
Yeah.
And I see it. But then you get back home and you say, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I ain't gonna get.
So what we do is a lot of times, a lot of people put things off and they keep putting them off and push it somewhere else so that they don't have to deal with it up front.
Right.
And then too, you see it a lot in long-term relationships or marriages, because when people be together for so long, they lose their identity.
Yeah.
Because they feel like we're
so
together.
true.
So what is my identity as a wife or as a husband? That's all I know. I know how to be his wife.
Yes.
So I give up my independence. Like my friends, I no longer have friends. It's our friends. I no longer really associate with my family like I used to, because we created our own thing. So now I'm not happy. This marriage or this relationship is no longer serving its purpose, but I don't know anything else, because we left our individuality. Instead of keeping who we were as individuals and coming together, we united. We became one.
Yeah.
And now I don't know who I am without you.
So now, okay, so how do you look at a person changing? I feel once again go to the insecurity aspect of it, because most people will make those long-term decisions based upon their insecurities.
Sometimes it's not even insecurity. It's more of a codependency. So say, for instance, we're two individuals, right?
Okay.
And we never lived on our own. We never, you know what I'm saying? We never really established who we were as individuals.
Yes.
And then we came together. And so now our identity is, I'm his wife. I'm her husband.
Yeah.
So we create this whole world. Now we're talking about years. Like nothing like a couple of months, but this is years of us being together.
Right.
So now who am I without you? Who are you without me? You don't know, because you let your independence go, because people have this false sense of marriage. They think in order for this marriage to work, we have to be one. No, you don't.
I think that is a bunch of
Wait,
shit.
now go. Y'all got to kind of break that down.
I'm trying to.
But
no, we follow you. We're following you.
I follow her, but I think we need to get out of that.
Yes,
we need to get out of that.
And I think we all can contest to, say, for instance, when we get married, right?
Okay.
We lose our hobbies, our loves, our joys, what we did independently.
Okay.
Because now we're joined to someone.
You're trapped.
Right? You're not necessarily, you create your own
Entrapment.
Yes. Unconsciously. It's not something you do consciously.
I don't think nothing's wrong with that, where we become unified as one. And I'm looking at it from a different standpoint. So just correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I agree with that. I agree. There's nothing wrong with you and your wife moving cohesively. You have the same vision, the same, you know what I'm saying? But you're not supposed to lose who you are as an individual. Because say, for instance, something happens to my husband. He dies now. You see this all the time where widows lose their husband and they don't know what to do with themselves because they don't have a network. They haven't built a network outside of their marriage.
Right.
Like they don't have friends.
Okay.
They don't have any hobbies.
They've rejected their friends.
Everything they did was with that.
Okay,
You know
I
what
see
I'm
what
saying?
you're saying. I got you. I could totally relate what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to what you're saying about the different perspective as well. For instance, I'm talking to a lady right now, right? And the cool part about it is she helped me think outside the box.
See, that's a good one.
So exactly,
one,
she's helped. So the things that she's brought to me is like, hey, you got to kind of break this. You got to change that. And it's stuff that I knew needed to be changed, but her bringing a different perspective is helping me think outside the box and being more open and honest with myself. So most people here's another entrapment where they can't even be honest within themselves or anyone else no more because they're stuck.
They're stuck.
And see, that's the thing, though. An individual who's helping you think outside of a box is something totally different from an individual who's trying to change you.
Well, give me an example of when you're trying to change it, because all right, let me bring this up real quick. Some people can actually be trying to push you to become better, to say, hey, go start the business or go do that. They're trying to push you to become better, but some people be like, oh, you're trying to control me.
No, that's something different.
I think one of the big, going along with Tosha saying,
okay,
say you hook up with a lady,
okay,
and you're saying you want to go to school.
Yes.
Meanwhile, she's saying, why do you need to go to school?
Exactly.
That's horrible.
Exactly.
Why you need to do all that?
That's
horrible. We cool together. But your mindset, because maybe me, like I told you, I get pussy whipped. So then I probably be like, okay, baby. All right.
Exactly.
But because I am selfish,
okay,
I'm saying I'm still gonna go to school. But some people that can't keep that. They're like, oh baby, yeah, I don't need to do this.
So
now you're trapped because your nose is up in the air. You're in this relationship with someone that you're allowed to change you. And then when they change you start diminishing that thought. School is out of there now.
So they deter you from your goals.
You got that right.
So
Then you get miserable.
Got you. that is a truth. That is a truth. A lot of internal misery comes with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because here's the reality. A lot of people see the potential in you that you don't see in yourself. Why not latch themselves onto you? And they get to stay attached to you for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
So you got people that are true opportunists that see what you bring to the table for them. I don't give a damn how honest they are, how cool and laid back they are. A lot of people see the benefit of you before you embrace you.
Right.
It's one of them things where you have to be careful if a person, because you have people who would act like they're in your corner.
Yes.
But really they're trying to control how you move in that corner.
Sabotage.
So like with the example you gave of school, what I said when someone is trying to change you, say for instance, I'm your woman, right?
Yeah.
And you come to me and say, babe, I want to go to school I want to be a teacher.
Right.
Okay.
Right? And I'm going to look and she'll be like, okay, babe, that's cool, but I know your passion is helping people. Why don't you look into psychology?
Right.
And then so I'm helping you. I'm still encouraging you to pursue, but I'm like, this is what your passion is for. Why not go into this direction? I'm going to leave it up to you to choose, but I'm going to open, try to open your eyes to well, maybe this
Well,
is.
that's a good way of seeing it.
Yeah.
That is correct, but most of the time, no.
Hell no.
No, I was giving the example.
But that's beautiful. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. And I love it. Hey, we'll get married next week.
All right, let him use you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And that's good because that's what we're seeking. That's what we want. But it just doesn't happen. And I think it's all because it's generational. And we do deal with the same people, because you gave me an example last. Yeah, is this your little brother? I was like, yeah. Oh, do you know them? Yeah. We hang somewhere or another. We still hang around the same circle.
Yes, we do.
And we don't know how we do it, but we still hang around the same circle. And that's what fascinates me, because it's like, what is it?
Right.
What keeps us in this mode, in this entrapment, in this way of life, that if we step out, we'll feel uncomfortable? It's not the norm, but it should be the norm.
But newness is a threat a lot of times. Newness, a positive newness, is always a threat to a lot of people. And a lot of times you will see it around within their circle that they hang around as well. So now we got relational entrapment, whether you have a child with someone or whatever. Let's look at, we talked about family, friends as well. Because a lot of the people, once again, don't want to see you go beyond where you are.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to have a sit down with yourself, analyze your pros and cons.
It's good to talk to yourself.
It definitely is. You got to analyze your pros and cons with this person. If this person is keeping you, for instance, we had a dialogue from last week talking about relational and how most of the people you get tied to don't hear you. And we're talking about it as men. A lot of times, a lot of women don't hear the men talking. So the man is talking and she's in a whole nother world, but then she's wondering why he go out and cheat. Why did he go somewhere else? Because you didn't hear him. So I attach myself to you based upon what? Based upon convenience for you as well. There's a lot within a relationship that has to be built for you to have a healthy relationship. If you don't have a healthy relationship, you know you don't.
Right.
So you asking everybody, well, what's wrong with them? What do you think about them? You know what's wrong with them. So it's up to you to say yes or no. Is this going to go any further or is it not? A lot of people lose the courage to say, I'm done with this. Like you said earlier, Tosh, you said a lot of the times they've been with them for so long. I've been with them since high school. I've been with them. And they got the illusion that this person is just right for me. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No. That situation at the time was right for you.
Right.
But the person is not right for you.
Everybody grows.
Everybody grows, and you got to be amongst people who are going to adapt and grow with you.
Yeah.
Evolution happens every day.
Right.
New cars come out every day. Every year, I meant to say. Every year they have the same exact car, the same exact price, with a new body style, a new engine, a new interjection, fuel injectors, whatever.
Right.
The same exact car costs the same amount every single year, and they come out with a new one every year. So what's wrong with you evolving, the person you're with evolving, opposed to them is a lot of people will come and sit on you. They'll come and put press on you, and they'll sit on you out of comfort. And you are stuck now. So now you get stuck because they want to stay there.
Right.
They want to stay back over there. Like, no, we used to go and hang with Sonny then. We used to go over Linda's house. That's what we used to do. And a lot of people don't want to let that component go. A lot of people want to stay where it used to be, the people that were cool.
Because they're used to it. I tell my wife this regularly, and I think y'all probably heard me this. Heard me say this to her, but I said it ever since I've known her. I said the only way that I'm gonna cheat on you is that the woman got to look better than you. She got to have more money than you. She got to have her own shit. She got to be a whole different package. That's the only way that I get out of this relationship. Now, what that does for me, it challenges me.
To look for better? What?
No, to not settle.
To not settle.
Oh, okay.
To not settle.
That's deep.
And then, but if she hears the words that are coming from out of my mouth.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? It'll be like, well, she'll probably say, well, you ain't going nowhere, but, oh, shit.
So what you're saying is sometimes you got to force people to step their game up.
You got to force people
when
to
it
step
comes
their
to them
game up.
That's dope.
And challenge yourself, too.
And you know
because
it's out there, though. You
Yeah,
know it's
real
out
talk.
there.
And you correct me if I'm wrong, because in marriages, especially yours, you've been married, 17 years,
Yeah,
right?
we've been together for
17
19.
So it goes through cycles. Some years aren't as good as the first
Right.
couple of years.
Okay.
So it's easier when you're hitting a rough patch to go look elsewhere. But if he's challenging himself, like the only time I'm gonna step out on my wife is they have to A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
That's making it like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just finna go settle for anything because
Exactly.
I'm unhappy at this point.
And it may sound weird, but
It doesn't sound weird to
when
me.
you speak it out to that person,
Uh-huh.
they may say, well, I know you'll be here tomorrow, but I bet you it's settling.
It's sinking in
It's
their
in
brain.
there. They're
That's
like, oh
pretty
my
deep.
God, maybe I need to do this here. I was so happy. You know, Gert bought a car.
I seen it. Congratulations,
And-
Gert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I said to myself, I said, Gert went out there and bought her damn a motherfucking car. I probably won't drive it or nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
Someone took it wrong and thought, okay, she bought it. I hope you don't get in it. See, they took it wrong. The reason I said that is because my wife she's maturing. I had to buy everything.
Mhm.
Okay.
But so with me saying I want something better, if I was to cheat on you, they need to do something better. So she did something better. She went and bought her own car. That is an example of me.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't in the right shoes and right frame of mind, she probably wouldn't have been able to afford a car.
That is the biggest flex when you help build your woman up mentally. There's no better flex than that. Because in my opinion, if a man is not motivating you to better yourself, then what's the point?
You
And
know
vice
what I'm
versa.
saying?
You know, there's so many people out there like that.
Yeah,
Right,
they
yeah.
keep
Oh my
themselves trapped.
God.
They keep if you came into a relationship, say I like to cook, and you started cooking, but since I cook so much, you ain't gonna probably cook that much anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Now you're miserable. I used to cook.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be able to feed you, but you feed me. Oh, Ron got me spoiled. Fuck that shit. Get your ass up and go make that spaghetti and meatballs like you used to. If I want to cook that day, you tell me not to cook.
Right.
Because what happened is we dumbify ourselves and then we feel miserable and we feel like we in a trapped relationship.
And that goes back to what I was saying, being in a marriage and you lose your independence and then your identity. Because,
Your identity.
So that goes back to when the people come and sit on you, have you ever felt that when a person comes in your life and you feel like you dragging bricks?
Yeah.
You take on their shit.
Yeah.
You take on that shit, but you feel like you're dragging bricks when that person comes into your life. Hella their weight. And the reality is this, is when you sense that, because when you bring it up, go back to what you just said, right? You'll bring it up to a person, and then sometimes they'll change for the moment. They'll shift for that moment, and then they'll go right back to where they were.
Yeah, that shit is aggravating.
And it is very aggravating.
Yeah.
So you are the final say-so person. You are the final say-so, but a lot of people, remember this, like you said earlier, a lot of people have a codependency, a lot of people have a lot of comfort, and a lot of people have a lot of fear. So once they found someone who loves them for the moment, what do? They go sit back and say, well, it'll get better over time.
Right.
No, this is a progressive life that we live.
Yes.
And how are you not 16 no more? You're not 30 no more.
That's right.
You're not 40 no more.
No.
Your life is growing. And if you can't evolve and grow as well, you gotta get out the way.
You gotta get out the way.
Sometimes
real.
you have to get out your own way because a lot of times we mentally trapped ourselves.
Yeah.
So we it's easy for us to look outside and see who we have around and blame the people around us for our situations.
Real talk.
But you have to do self-reflection and be like, okay, this is a cycle I'm continuing because it's repeating with no matter who I have around me. So the only common denominator is you.
Always you. Can I bring this one up though too? Somebody brought up go to therapy, right? Therapy is a good source.
Yeah.
Sometimes therapy will be great for one person. It may not be great for another, right?
It's usually not great for a couple.
A lot of times, I'm just saying a lot of times, listen to what I'm saying. it's not about the therapy. It's about your truth to yourself. A lot of people don't know how to be honest with themselves because it's so easy to reflect and blame other people.
Yeah.
So like what I said earlier, one point I said, I have all these kids with all these different women. And then I was blaming the woman. Well, she did this and how she came over here and then she sat on it a lot longer and I'm bringing all this in. Let's be honest with yourself. Bruh, you are the middleman right here.
Yeah.
You made this decision based upon what? Because of your insecurity, based upon what you were looking for, based upon you. And that's how they came up in your life. So when you get trapped, and once again, a lot of people see the potential in you automatically out the gate. They know what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
They know your hustle. They know that automatically from a distance. Why do you think a person will want to have a child with you and stay connected to you?
Because they know you're going to bring that bag in.
They already know what time it is. I'm going to be real.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real.
Right.
There are men that actually trap women as well, try to trap women.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I didn't even know that was a real thing until I'm like, what? I did not know that. Dude, I thought I was the only one. I'm like, man, these women trying to trap me. I'm like, I did not know men try to trap women. Because what's this thing, the homosexuals? Homosexuals, dude. I cannot live off a woman.
I want to scale back to what you said about therapy, too. Because
Go for it.
A lot of people, when you say go to therapy, they go meet with one therapist and they don't work out and they be like, yeah, that's not for me.
Yes, a lot of times
therapists are just like if you're trying on shoes.
Yeah.
I went through 6 before I found my match.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like every therapist doesn't have the same expertise or understand what you're looking for. I say that how I knew my therapist was for me is because she challenged me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She wasn't just sitting back listening to me vent and say, oh, how about this? Or how do you feel about this?
Right.
She was like calling me on my shit.
Okay.
So if you're thinking about going to therapy and you meet with one person and he's like, nah, that's not it. You have to shop. Yeah, you have to shop around till you find a therapist that works for you.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
And how they talk to you. My big thing is cost.
Yes, and some people can't. Let's be honest. Some people can't afford it.
Yes, that's real.
Some people literally can't afford it, and you cannot pressure a person to do something that they don't have the means to do.
At all.
Let's be real with that, because I've done the same thing. Go to a therapist, and it's like, oh my God, they horrible. Then go to another therapist, it's like, oh, they slow,
Yeah.
You run it, but remember, people are people, but it's their expertise. They're experts in this area. But all I'm saying is, you got to get to the point where you start dealing with you, which will help that process.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Some people just go because their spouse said, you ain't go to therapy. You don't care. Ain't no love in the atmosphere. I'll go.
Right.
They'll go because they were forced. And I'm just saying, as an individual, you got to start dealing with you so that you don't keep making the same mistakes.
Where you open, like, to me, it's when you come upon your journey where you're open and you're really seeking, like, to get to the core issues of why you're moving the way you move.
Exactly.
So when you're searching and you're really trying to better yourself, that's when you know you're ready for therapy.
Yes.
If you're still in denial and you're not dealing with your own shit and you're not ready to face it, it's not going to work.
It's going to be a waste.
A lot of people have bad backgrounds, horrible backgrounds. And the way they grew up or whatever, it was bad. Whether their parents sold them into to the boyfriend or whether they're... they were abused and stuff like that, or they were neglected. A lot of people got horrible backgrounds, and then they grow up to be an adult and have children and don't understand why the kids don't like them. Instead of them admitting what they've done wrong in their sector, they spend the rest of the time blaming the parent. I'm not saying that the parent is wrong or not wrong. I'm saying at some point you got to admit to yourself about where you fell short at, so it'll be easier to deal with where your parents fell short at.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at an interview a young lady did. I really want to reach out to this young lady. She was talking about how she was in a full relationship with her dad, her biological dad. She didn't know him, but he comes back in her life, and she's in a full relationship, sex, everything, have kids with him. I mean,
with her dad?
With her father.
Incest.
Yeah, but her father was living with his mama, so that's a red flag right there.
She knew it was her daddy?
Yes, the child she was in.
So I'm assuming, I think I know the story, because he wasn't in her life.
No.
She met him later on in life.
Yes.
But she knew that was her biological
But
father.
And she was being molested and everything in a group
Did the
home.
daddy know? Did the daddy know?
Yes.
He knew, so he hurried up and got an apartment so she can come stay with him. He knowing that a lot of grown men are sleeping with her at 9, 10 years old. And so he goes to get an apartment, and she says, well, I gotta sleep with him because I know he wants to sleep with me. And he does that. And then her mom was on drugs, and then her mom, what am I saying? That some people don't even have an outlet of how to figure it out. They don't have, some
Damn.
people are in such a jacked up position.
It's called survival mode.
Exactly. And I felt bad for that baby as well. But
That was seriously trapped.
can you imagine how many more people are dealing with the same exact thing that she's dealt with as well?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't want to admit that this is an everyday issue. When you have a young kid that's so broken, a relational entrapment, I don't even know what entrapment is. Like you just said, I'm in survival mode. There's a lot of people in survival mode that there's so much work to dig. I gave that analogy.
The background of the story is her mother was on drugs. So she learned at a young age that if she used her body, that's how she was feeding herself or, getting her needs met. So when her father came back around, for him getting the apartment and taking care of her, that's how she felt she had to pay for it.
So she gave the coochie to the daddy.
I
Or did the
wouldn't-
daddy say, I
we
want
wouldn't
some
say it
coochie?
like that,
She
Ron.
slept
but
with her dad.
Yeah.
He was just a prowler pervert.
Yeah.
He was just prowling.
Wow.
And he seen the opportunity. Once again, he knew what was going on in the neighborhood because he lived in the neighborhood with his mother. Remember that. He ain't live on his own. So the courts told him he had to get his own place. He got his own place. He didn't have no furniture, whatever. She was sitting there and she said, guess what? I know that this is what he wants. And he proposed it to her. And she went along with it and she got into a full-blown relationship with her father. But
Whoa.
so psychologically messed up. So I'm
Yeah.
saying a lot of people are so psychologically messed up. I brought up me to say about insecurities. Insecurities make lifetime decisions. And a lot of people, what do they know? They prey off of the opportunity of where you're insecure and where you're vulnerable at.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying start digging within yourself so that you can know what you need to deal with and where you stand at.
You can be aware.
So you don't keep making these mistakes. Relational entrapment is for you to grow. You cannot grow staying attached to people who are stuck. And if everybody in your circle is stuck, they go ride a bicycle to the store. They go and hang out and drink with everybody and party constantly. Where are you going to go with that?
Right.
Constantly. Everybody that you're around, these are relationships that we all form from childhood up to adulthood, and it's because our comfort keeps us there.
Right.
And when you let people go, what do they always say? You think you're better than everybody.
Yeah. How did it?
You over here trying to prove something.
Right.
And what people will do is dumb themselves down to stay in that, and now you're trapped.
To stay accepted.
To stay accepted. But everybody already don't like you. That's
because
one
of your potential.
Exactly. And that's one thing I had to learn within myself. And I can say this as a true testimonial. There's a lot of people who I know don't like me, can't stand my guts. And every time I'm greeting them, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Now I get to the point, fuck you.
Right.
It ain't nothing wrong with saying that. As being an adult, you do not have to dumb yourself down to be a part of a circle or a clique that already don't accept you. If they don't accept you, tell them to kiss your ass and keep moving.
Yeah.
If they don't speak to you when they walk up and you're always speaking, don't speak to them. Why? There is nothing in life's rule book that tell you have to speak to people who don't speak to you, who don't respect you. So at some point, you got to start cutting these people off.
You got to.
And they'll try to form all these cliques to make you feel bad that you can't be in the clique. Fuck they clique.
Yeah.
Because they'll never be where you're going. That's all I'm saying. Where you're holding yourself back by keeping some of these relationships that are not growing, that are not healthy, and it's not beneficial for you.
That is true. That is real true.
I agree.
And you feel kind of like jacked up, when you got to go over there and say hello to that person.
Yes.
Knowing they was in the building and they looking at you, but you got to take that moment out.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? I stopped that. I stopped that. Certain people I just stopped reaching out to.
Real talk. Thank
certain
you.
people that I just stopped trying to call because I don't want to be in there. I don't want to be trapped in their mindset. I don't want to be in that position where I have to think like him or her because I want them to like me.
Yes, exactly. at some point you start dealing with what went wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start moving forward.
Yeah.
This went wrong. It wasn't healthy. It wasn't good. Cool. That happened. Now, what do I do to move forward?
Mm-hmm.
The moving forward component is lonely,
Yes.
is depressing, and is very hard. And a lot of people, we can sit here and encourage all people, don't get trapped in this. I'm going to tell you that's the biggest fear for so many people is they don't want to be alone.
Yes.
They don't want to be in that isolation. But that isolation period is a growing period that you need in order for you to grow to where you got to be at.
Oh, yeah.
You'll never grow sitting over there apologizing to other people for their wrong. You'll never grow.
You'll never grow.
What the hell are you doing apologizing to them and they the one to use you?
Yeah.
Or they the one that didn't speak to you, or they the one that inflicted you.
Right.
And they do all this to you and then try to go into that little clique. To hell with that clique. Once again, that if people got to team up against you, that proves that they'll never be able to handle you by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Every
go.
single one of them.
He's right.
I agree.
The only people that I basically deal with is the people that I loan money from. That I get money.
I cannot.
You using money, stupid.
If you ain't got
You're
no money, then I can pay you
stupid.
back. I ain't your friend.
Stupid.
You ain't worth my time.
Stupid. Hey, but truthfully, at some point, as you're maturing, don't look at maturing as age, because I know people in their 40s and 50s that act like they 15.
Hello.
That's called ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
When you are maturing, you are maturing to the point where I cannot afford to be trapped. I always say this, whether it's an organization, whether it's a family tie, whether it's a relationship, you got to break that.
Yeah.
But because you stay in it, the longer you stay in it, the harder it is to break away from it. And you realize when you don't talk to certain people, when you don't deal with certain things, you like, man, I feel good. But it's a part of you that misses that.
Yeah.
And
Especially coming from a church background.
oh my God.
Especially coming from a church
Hallelujah.
background.
Oh, God.
Because for me,
Yes.
y'all know I was in a cult, and I left the organization, but I find sometimes I crave just the family aspect of it,
Yes.
or the communion part of it,
Right.
because it was a community. You know what I mean? So
Or the making love part of it.
But what was the
there was no.
But let me ask you this.
This dude, what kind of
let me
free
ask
shit
you-
Ron be on?
I don't know. Oh, hey,
Like it
that's-
was just orgies, huh?
Hey, but truthfully is what was the cost?
Yeah.
What was the cost of you being a part of that cult? Even though you know it, and this is the thing, people know the truth,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't want to embrace the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew it was an unhealthy experience being in that cult,
Right.
and you stayed in it because of
Of my marriage. So that was
Okay.
like one of the things where I said where you lose your, you know what I'm saying, who you are for the union, for the marriage.
exactly.
So
But how healthy was the marriage for you?
it wasn't healthy at all.
Exactly. So now I'm entrapped in this marriage,
And it's cold.
and I'm entrapped in what they're tied to.
And my kids are involved,
And my
and
kids,
the family,
so,
yeah.
exactly. So
Mhm.
everything about you got to be detoxed
Mm-hmm.
from all of that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up in the church, same experience. My dude asked me, he said, bro, you got a lot of church hurt. Truthfully, yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
there's not a real big difference between the church and the cult.
Not even no case. No,
Right.
ain't no
Okay.
difference.
It's
Ain't
not
no
a big-
because a lot of them have cultish ways.
Mhm.
Yes.
A lot of
It's
them.
the group thing.
Oh my
It's the group
God.
thing where you have to be part of the flock in order to be.
Man,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
let me tell you how you know it's a cult.
Mhm.
Whenever they would have the pastor's kids go somewhere, they would say, we're going to pray for the pastor's kids, and they're going to go, and we're going to make sure they be great. They're going to be artists or whatever else.
Right.
And I'm trying to be a truck driver. They like, oh, the devil trying to get him out there to chase women.
Yeah. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
he trying to get out here and go to hell.
Right.
He ain't going to do nothing. And then he defiling this. And I'm like, why are they attacking me?
Right.
And I'm trying to do something to make myself better. But that goes back to I didn't know how to get out of that because I grew up in it.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in it, and this is supposed to be family. They're supposed to be like aunties. And really, they're attacking all my brothers and sisters and all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I as a grown man now? I'm like, hell no.
Right.
If one of them say something to my child, any one of my kids, I'm going to kick your motherfucking ass.
Real quick.
Hey, see, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to
Real
say.
quick.
Mhm.
If one of them say,
you
if they
said
didn't,
it
because
right.
here's the reality. I didn't have nobody to defend me in this.
Right.
Go back to what I said, mentoring, right? If a right mentor is there with you, some people can say that they're your role model. I heard Deion Sanders say this. They're your role model, but they're just modeling the role.
Mm-hmm.
They're just models for the role. Because a real mentor is going to help you get there.
Yeah.
And surpass them.
Exactly. But
Yes.
some people will give you just enough so you can stay up under them.
Hello.
Give you just enough
Speak
so that
on
they
it.
can make sure that they keep you within arm's reach of
Right.
what they can use you with.
Yes.
Or what they can get up out of you. That's the thing of you having to leave these relationships that you know are not healthy.
Right.
I don't care, brother, sister, cousin,
Mother,
love, mom,
father.
even your parents.
Mhm.
You got to let them go because they're not ready to get to where you're going to get to.
Mhm.
I had more people cut me off out of life because of who I was attached to.
Mhm.
I'm attached to this person. They say, hey, Clevonne, what's up with that guy? Oh, no, man, he my boy. Okay, I got you. They never answered the call again.
Whoa.
Now we're about to get ready to
'Cause
do a
it
couple
comes
$1 million
from
deal.
It's coming
Yeah.
from the thinking. You show me your friends, I'll show you who you are.
Exactly. But because of my commitment to my community, I lost great deals.
Yeah.
I lost great opportunities. So if somebody gonna come put $1 million on a table, guess what? They don't even need to be in my life.
Mhm.
Certain people don't need to be there. But a lot of people can't fathom of me telling you this is how you manage millions of dollars or whatever else. Because a lot of people look at you, you think you're better than somebody. No. You just don't have the open mind to get to where I'm trying to get to. And you will try to bring people with you that should have never been there. That's a relationship that gotta go.
Exactly.
And Steve, for me, it's not even more of cutting off a relationship, especially if a person's mindset isn't where mine is. I just know how to deal with you. So
Some people don't know how to do that though.
yeah, I get that. But I'm
Okay.
saying for me,
Okay.
like if I'm handling business, I have a friend who's a party or whatever. I'm not going to bring her to my business functions or deals because,
Right.
but when I want to party, this is who I contact. You know what I'm saying?
You pick and choose.
Yeah, I know how to deal with you.
But you're still a part of it though.
That doesn't make you a part of it. It doesn't make you a part of it. This is not, when I say my circle, right? When I have a circle,
Okay.
you have to know how to deal with people on their level. It doesn't mean that they are coming along on your journey with you. You know what I mean? It's like, just because, say for instance, I'm cool with this person, they like to drink and smoke, right? That doesn't mean I like to drink and smoke. But
Right.
this is not an individual I'm going to have around my kids, or, you know what I mean?
That's where people get it misconstrued at. That's what people get it misconstrued at. Real talk.
It's fine.
Because some people don't know how to separate those two.
Right.
Some
Because
people.
some people, this is not just, it's a lot of people that don't know how. Because they're like, well, my friend is my friend. For instance, I have friends that'll get up and say, I'm going to Dubai next week. I'm like, my God, that's
Right.
dope. What are they doing? Challenge me to go further. But then I go over here to the friends that like to drink and party constantly. So I'm going to spend more time with them because they're more available sometimes.
You have to know your mindset. Like
I'm saying people don't know how to separate the two.
Some people don't,
Right.
but you have to understand your characteristics. You're a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm a leader. Ron's a leader. We all have our own mind. Some people, I do believe what you're saying, because some people are followers.
Right.
I never been a follower.
Yes.
I never been a follower. So it's always been, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Yes.
So it's like you have to know your weakness is what I'm saying.
Real
So
talk.
if you know that you're the type of person where you're not strong enough to be on your own and do your own thing, and you need a team, you need to build a team of people who's going to motivate you.
Yes.
You understand? Because
Yes.
you know that you need that support.
Right.
Some people don't need that. Like, you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Some people don't need that. So I know, like, this homegirl here,
Mhm.
this is who I'm going to contact when I want to go out, have a good time. I'm not a partier like that. But when I do go out, I like to have a good time. So this is who I
But what if
contact.
she messy low key though? And you like, well, that's who I hang with for the
I-
parties.
listen.
That still represents you,
First,
right?
no.
For me,
I'm just
for
playing
me,
devil's advocate.
No.
You learn. You
Okay.
learn when they mess up. You learn. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I know not to do. No.
You
'cause
have
they
messy
messed me over on-
professionals.
Yes.
And you
Oh
done dealt
my
with, so come
God.
on. So
Oh my God, that's so true.
this is
Grimy.
because I'm not one of these
Grimy.
people. I'm not one of these people just because you hold a title in a corporation or you have so many
Real
degrees
talk.
doesn't
Much
mean your
respect.
mental state is where it should be
Much
to deal with
respect.
me.
Yeah.
I didn't deal with more people from the projects and from the hood that can give the corporate world a run for their money if you really sit down and have a conversation with them.
Mhm.
But they are trapped in their way of thinking and not
Hey,
trying to get
I
out.
was just
So
about
you
to
know
say
what I'm
that.
saying? So I don't, just because you have these titles and these degrees, I don't look at you any different than I look at my homegirl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't. I'm not a respect of
gotcha.
persons like that.
That's what
I deal with people accordingly, because you can be an attorney. It don't mean you not messy.
Right.
You're not a shark. You're not gonna
I've
stab me in my
seen
back.
that. Oh my God.
You get what I'm saying? So
Real talk. I feel you.
I don't have that mind state. I respect the lowest just as I respect the highest. I deal with people with how they deal with me. If you respect me, I respect you.
Much respect. Much respect. That's what's up. Let's here. We gotta get ready to wrap this up right now. Mr. Ron, is there any final words you want to bring to the table real quick, man?
That don't involve sex or orgies.
For real.
Oh no, why y'all think like
Cat.
that? Well, from our conversation right now, it's hard to be untrapped if you're around the same people all your lives.
Real talk.
But I do challenge those that says, man, I could have did this. I want to do this.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. And you're going to hear the people that wish you wouldn't have done it come out like a bad pimple on your face. You pop it. You pop that pimple. You get that core out. And that's what you got to do. Because when you cleaning your face or you doing something different, you're exfoliating. I'm starting to exfoliate people. When you exfoliate, you're untrapping the dirt in your face.
Understood.
Then you get the blackheads. Then you get the pimples.
Okay.
Then you get that pus that come out. That's what we want in our lives. That's how you know you're getting a change when you're getting a blackhead or a pimple. Because
I was born by the river.
Okay, I'm sorry.
A little tense.
So I employ people to
pop the pimple.
Pop the pimple.
Okay.
All right, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Pimple.
Tosh, what you want to say on this too?
Piggybacking off of Ron. Once you pop the pimple, no, I'm just playing.
See, y'all gonna make me start talking about my kids. And don't let your kids.
But no, push yourself to come out of your comfort zone. That's the only way you're gonna, from your mental trap, you trapping yourself. You have to get uncomfortable. That's where the growth is. Become uncomfortable in your situation and make a change. That's the only way you're gonna grow.
And I would like to reiterate: fear is your enemy. Fear is your enemy. If you don't know how to swim, guess what you need to do? You need to go outside, watch a video, practice.
Yes.
If you don't know how to invest into a business or whatever, go out and do something. You gotta start making the moves. That's what I always say to people. Most people will never get where they need to be at. Why? Because they do not make the move. And in order to do the work, you got to start addressing things that are hurtful, and do not go back and tell people what you're working on.
At all.
Don't tell people, because there are people who will prey on you. I got to say this real quick. People say they praying for you. They are pray, but you are the prey.
Yes.
And you don't want to always be the prey when they say they praying for you. That's why it's a part of your life where you got to be quiet. You cannot tell everybody.
Building silence.
Exactly.
Building silence.
But building silence because you want people to be excited for you, and you want that crowd. But remember, that crowd wasn't always excited for you. That crowd ain't always had your back. That's why you got to shift yourself up out of that.
Yes.
Shift yourself. So once again, fear is not your friend. Fear is your enemy. Do not be fearful to take the risk and to get where you got to go, because we're trying to break what? Cycles.
Trying to break
generational
cycles, and relational entrapment is a part of that. Want to give a shout out to everybody out there that's been supporting us. We love you. We thank you so much. Until we all meet again coming up, y'all be able to find us on more platforms as well.
Yeah, we got to make it happen, y'all.
I mean. Hey, we love y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Y'all. Bust that
all
pimple.
the support. Stupid.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was real.